Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Society Now, a show that endeavors to bring you groundbreaking news and entertainment and conversation that's invoking and exciting and actually amazing. Yes. I'm your host, Kira Laws. You can follow me at The Modern Day Cindy on Instagram, and this is our wonderful co-host.
Hello, everybody. My name is Allison Bullock, and you can follow me on Instagram at Miranda Inc. How's your week been?
Don't
Been
ask.
good? Oh. Don't ask. Great.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask.
This is a truth moment. This has been a very long week for me. Let's talk about truth. Truth, y'all.
Truth, y'all.
This has been a long week for me, but it is almost over. I count my weeks on Wednesday, so technically this is the beginning of my week.
So
I count the
full week.
It's been a full week because
week.
it's been full. It's been rolling.
So shout out to everybody on Facebook Live.
Come
Hello,
on, Facebook
Clint.
Live.
Come on. How are you?
Hello, Facebook Live. Let me get on Facebook Live.
For all of you guys that are new, Clint, you're like family at this point, really.
You
don't
really
forget
are
to
family.
subscribe, review, share, and definitely don't forget to donate to the Sphere. It's an amazing mission that honestly you really want to be a part of. So don't forget to donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. Woo! That's all right. Really, the producer always tells me, don't do the hoop.
Yeah, don't.
But the hoop is just like...
It's a part of who
adds
she
so
is.
much character.
So we pray that everything is on aligned because it's who she is. We're not going to take the whoop away from you.
We're not going to take the who, but the
Whoop,
who is like a aw. I know everybody has probably seen it. I call it Summer Sorrows on our Society Second in Atlanta, where the 5-year-old boy tragically drowned at a Camp Cricket Summer Day Camp. And if you guys have seen the, what is that?
The news?
The news when they actually did a press conference and the mother was speaking, you guys, it just broke every little piece of my heart.
Well, so it's so interesting. I, as a new parent, I've always been hyper aware or hypersensitive about kids and water. I don't necessarily think that, children, unless your child has been taught how to swim, they shouldn't be anywhere near around a pool. Even if it's with a child care service, if there's a swim activity that's planned, that should be a day that maybe either the child is not participating or, you make sure everyone's aware that little so-and-so cannot swim. And it's really sad to me because number one, the young, he passed away. But number two, this particular daycare was operating without proper licensing.
Man.
And I know, it's unfortunate because people are really trusting, their kids to these childcare providers and these services because they need it.
Yeah.
And people need these services. And what happens when you entrust your child to someone and something this tragic happens? Anything could happen to your kid, but this is a loss of life, and it's just so sad. So my prayers out to their family because my heart,
100%.
yeah, I just, it's just really sad.
But on a lighter note, literally, Tia Mari, who everybody knows is the twin of it's Tia and Tamara. Everybody knows. I think Tamara is on The View, but of course, Tia has endometriosis, and she decided to really keep that in check. And so, for those of you that don't know, it's a disorder that's very painful in that the tissues and the normal inside lining of the uterus grows outside of the uterus. So it's very, very painful. But she decided to change the way she eats. So she totally eats now fruits, vegetables, whole grain, seeds, and she cuts out processed, refined, and packaged foods. So she calls these are food that gets rid of the inflammation.
I think she's on the right path. She's totally on the right path. I think sometimes, in our society, we eat so quickly, so fast. We look for the fast fix. And even if your food is not fast, because, you know, some of our soul food is not cooked fast, it's cooked quite slowly. You know, your greens and stuff like that, your macaroni, cheese, whatever.
Yes.
But, you know, she's doing the right thing by feeding her body the right thing, right fuel. And a lot of times, many of the sicknesses that we have in our body are caused by what we're eating, what we're ingesting, and we're not properly properly able to flush it out. So having these platforms, especially now with social media, being able to say, hey, this is what I'm doing to take care of myself, I think is amazing. Kudos to you, Tia. Kudos to everyone in the world that's actually taking heed to, like, let me treat my body a little better.
Being healthy is popular now.
Oh, it's very popular
Like
now.
being healthy is a trend now.
It is the trend.
She lost 20 pounds by eating fruits, veggies, whole grain, seeds, cutting out all processed, refined, and packaged food. I think we all can do that.
I think I should start that
No,
tomorrow.
seriously.
Now, I'm not even trying to be funny, y'all, but
I think that's a great.
I think we're going to actually implement that as part of the show.
I
We should
agree.
probably start showing the snacks that we're eating.
So the nickname on the show, Gary tuned in. He calls me Snacks.
Yeah.
Because I always bring snacks.
Yeah, so we should start showing the healthy snacks.
And we do bring healthy. Well, my last snacks weren't healthy, but they will be.
We should and we should start promoting a healthier lifestyle because we are responsible, right? For it, and we have this platform. So let's not. And I agree with you, Gary, what you're saying. 75% of the earth is water, so we should be requiring the schools to teach swimming. You know, I just totally get it. And yeah, it's snacks.
So, you know, talking about it in other news, OJ. Now, OJ has gotten a lot of play from the Jay-Z album, right?
I mean, he told facts. It was facts.
It was facts.
It was factual.
And so now he's back. He actually earned money while he was in prison. For those that don't know, OJ used to play in the NFL.
Well, this is the thing. He is not the first person of his status who has earned money while in jail.
$600,000.
We know people that were making millions in prison. I mean, you think about those persons that, you know, I'm not throw up some names, but we have fashion designers that went to jail for, you know, stuff that they're, you know, they
think about that.
You know, we have people like that. We have, you know, TV talk show hosts that have gone to jail and still was making money in jail. So he is not an exception to the rule, people. You know, this is something that happens all the time. He's making money. Should he keep it? Why don't you want him to keep it? It has something to do. It has something more to do with what you feel about him as a person than his capacity. Because most people, when they get out of jail, they're not even able to earn any money to live. So let's a deeper issue here.
And I think, Kira, you hit the nail on the head yet again.
The juice
People
is
don't
loose.
realize that people don't realize that the NFL pension is protected by state law. So this is not just something like he was side hustling, like he was in prison. While he was in prison, this money was still happening. He earned
it when he earned it.
this money from his pension.
Yeah.
And it's covered by the state. So I think that people are now attacking not the situation but his character.
It's things
in the past,
attacking his
right?
character, and we don't know. Like, again, it's so many other things that are happening around.
It's only news because
it's OJ. It's only news because it's OJ. Like I said, there's many people that have gone to jail that have similar status in terms of celebrity status or stardom, and have earned money from different ventures, and no one questioned whether they should keep it or not.
Racism, plain and simple, Clinton says. Kaylin, and folks just don't like him.
People just don't like him, but it's a lot of people we don't like. Exactly. I was going to say the exact.
Kaylin, yep.
You hit the nose on the head.
Yep.
People talked about Martha Stewart, but again, her money didn't stop.
Matter of fact, she capitalized off that once she got out, even more so with some of the partnerships.
It's you know, it is what it is. But I don't really have a problem with it. In that many people that get out of jail can't earn any money, so you're gonna have to live somehow.
And y'all, he went to jail.
Yeah,
like,
so
this is not saying that
I
this
don't.
is right. Yeah,
I'm not. It's not right or wrong. It's just let's not make that news because it's OJ. How about that?
Which is why it deserved a society second, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
Exactly. Okay. So Jay-Z's reportedly losing approximately $1 million a week by not having 444 on Spotify. Now, I'm not a big tech head. I don't know much about this sphere of influence here. But I do know that streaming services are making money hand over foot. You know what I mean? They're making it so much money. And they're saying like it's an estimation of $1 million. It could be other people. I think it was Billboard said it could be like $250,000 a week.
Yep.
And it's Jay-Z. I don't really think he's hurting for it. I think he has his reasons that he doesn't want to put it on Spotify, which is understandable. He's already made, he's done Tidal, Apple Music, so I think he's very strategic in what he's doing. I don't think he's really wanting his brand to be part of Spotify,
So everybody, for those that don't know, Jay-Z does stuff on purpose, y'all. He just doesn't. If he does
purposeful.
He's very driven and he does things on purpose. So one of the things that Billboard reports is that he believed that the streaming services devalue music because it gave free users the ability to play any album or artist catalog on shuffle. So that's the reason why he didn't do it. So this wasn't just
so he's a man of principle.
So he's
it's
like,
the
hey,
principle
if people want it, there's other streams that they can get it from. So
it makes sense. It's a person of principle. So I don't. So the question is, how much is he making by having it
Clinton false
it over at the other locations?
Streamed.
Yeah. So it's he.
Spotify.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing because this is the platform that they actually recruited people to come to Tidal. They was like, listen, we'll make sure you get more money for your dollar, your plays, your songs, and things like that. So I hear you, Clinton. I hear you, Gary. Like, how much?
They're really going in. They're
how much?
Yeah, I mean, y'all, this is Jay-Z. Like he can do this, right? I guess now there may be a deeper meaning than it, but that's what Billboard Report said.
And it's all good.
And honestly, for those that are like live streaming, what other reason do you think that Jay-Z wouldn't?
I think it's principle.
Just straight principle.
Because again, like I said, when he recruited people to come over to Tidal to exclusively have their music on that platform for however the contract said, it was partly because he wanted to make sure to ensure that the artists got their dollars out of it, and not just pennies, dollars. So it's definitely. It's right. It's definitely principle. Yeah. It's principle for him because he can't renege on that, right? Okay.
So, skipping one, but coming back to it, talking about Usher.
You want to skip that, or you want to talk about it?
I only want to talk about that.
Okay, let's
just
go.
for a second. So, for those that do not know and have not heard, Usher could be faced with even more lawsuit charges after herpes revelation. So, these women are coming out saying that they gave him herpes.
Or he gave them herpes.
Yes. Like $1.1 million.
So this is the thing. And I have so many principled statements since we're talking about principles now. We're still on the principle statements. I have so many principle statements. I don't necessarily know. I don't know too many people. I have not spoken to that many people, but I don't personally know too many people that actually have the conversation, especially we're going to assume that he wasn't in serious committed relationships with any of these women, that they're asking, hey, what's your status? How many STDs do you have? And I don't necessarily know if that's something that you know immediately, or did he find out later on? And it's one person.
I hate to laugh at this, but
no, seriously. And that one person, the one person that did have, is the reason why she had a settlement. And the other people are like, oh well, I want my money too. And I'm like, but did he know at the time that you contracted it, or did you actually get it from him? Because it's herpes. Like, it's not like, and herpes is a thing that can go very dormant for a very long time. It can come out at any time. How can you trace where you got it from? How many sexual partners? Why were you having unprotected sex? Was your sex unprotected? Was it skin to skin? I mean, there's so many layers and levels to this.
She's saying all this, y'all, but with dealing, for those that don't know, dealing with herpes and all that kind of stuff, if you read articles and talk about different types of STDs, you can get them more than just intercourse.
Right. You can get it skin to skin.
You can get it.
So it's not like you can actually automatically pinpoint when and how you got it and what time. And it's unfortunate for those who feel like he is the reason, because this is a lot. You know what I mean? Like, this really is a lot.
And the case for the $1.1 million was settled in 2012. Because sometimes when we keep on hearing news, we think that news is new news.
It's not new.
No, this lawsuit happened in 2012. And what's happening is they're saying that there's another woman that's coming up.
Yeah.
So I tell you, talking about on the come up, this portion of the show is sponsored by the one and only Houston Housewives of Finance.
Come on, finance.
Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% are more than 77 millions of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say that they don't have enough in their savings. Do not become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email them at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new face of the new age of financial services.
Now, I don't know. This is some good stuff here. I know we're about to wrap up in a second, but I really want to just say this. I see what you're saying, Kaylin, that the health department reports that 1 out of 6 sexually active adults have one of the types of herpes. And that's unfortunate because, again, we don't know where they get it from. And, of course, the burden of proof is on women. And when we talk about that, that's very strong because you're assuming that a woman can actually pinpoint and tell you when she knew she had it.
Because, honestly, for some women, they don't know.
Because it can lie dormant. And so it's very, there is definitely some inequity here when you think about it from that perspective.
For sure.
But it's also a conversation about responsibility too. And about you being very aware of who your partner is and who you're dealing with before you decide to have any form of intimacy, even if it's not intercourse. You need to know who you're dealing with, and you need to know ahead of time so you can be aware. I'm not saying you have to create a log by your bed, but you need to create a log or something.
You guys, if you are sleeping with someone, they have a log by their bed, you need to get up, put your pants on, and run. Do you hear me? But I think you said something.
No, seriously,
good.
You need to know. You need to know.
You need to know. What
I mean, even if it's a kiss, because kisses you can contract herpes, so it's not.
Save your
it's
kisses,
not.
honey.
It's not intercourse alone. It's
Clinton
a lot of.
said, "Ew, nasty."
Ew. All right, exactly, but it's real.
Not shame.
A log, right? A log. I said it, Gary.
Did you say
I
log?
said it.
Yes, you
I
did.
said it because
And-
we need to know.
And truth be told, and this one thing I love about society now, you guys do not miss the news in the headline. Just because the headline says Usher, the reality of it is the news. What your takeaway from that is, be health conscious.
Exactly.
Be alert,
That's when it's bigger
be
than
aware. It's bigger than just a celebrity because honestly, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, no
Right.
pun intended, has dealt with some type of issue.
Really, Gary, a dirty black book? Really? Whatever.
So with that being said, we thank the Facebook Live.
We're not condoning sexual activity
No,
or
we
anything
are
like that.
not.
We're just saying if you're gonna do it, be responsible
be safe.
and be responsible in your intimacy, even with your, with whomever you're with.
And last but not least, check yourself. Go to the doctor. I've talked to so many people that haven't had checkups in so long.
Oh yeah, go to the doctor.
Like, you don't know. You may have something that's been sitting down for 2 years, but you haven't had a checkup in like 3.
And health clinics, just because you can't go to your regular doctor.
If you don't have insurance,
there's health clinics that will check you out.
Reasonably priced. So look it up online. So with that being said, we absolutely love you, Facebook
Log
Live.
it.
Tom, Dick, and Harry. I know.
Subscribe and log it. Society Now.
Society Now. Definitely subscribe, review, share, donate. We want your feedback. Again, you can Modern Day Cindy, Miranda Inc. on Instagram. Do not forget to give us feedback. We absolutely love you and adore you, and we hope you have an amazing night.
day.
You guys take care.
Or night. Okay, so what are we talking about now? So many things happening.
Man, a lot of stuff is happening in the news.
So this guy in Singapore, he's a Singapore daddy, and I'm not gonna say it with a Z because I am not that person.
Man,
I'm not that person.
I'm gonna do it.
No, please don't.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't do it.
Dazzy.
No, it's Zaddy.
Oh, vice versa.
With a Z.
Zaddy.
Okay, but it's only.
Zaddy.
But I feel like only certain people say that, and I feel like I don't want to be a part of that group that's looked at with that. Because it's supposed to be.
Maybe people just do it for fun. Like it's like that. Oh, Zaddy. But they don't say it like that. Zaddy.
No, I don't think they say it like that either. Well, I guess it's different because maybe no grown person want to call a boo.
I definitely don't.
Okay, so it's a guy in Singapore, you guys, and he is amazingly,
oh my goodness,
amazingly healthy and refined, and he is 50 years old.
That man is 50 years old.
He's 50 years old.
Look at him.
Does he look 50 to y'all? He looked like he's a freshman in college, is what he looked like. that's what they're saying on the internet. This man is a freshman
And honestly, we decided to dedicate a society second
to him.
because that deserves a clap.
Let me tell you why he gets a clap. Because he's motivation. He's motivation. And
Seriously.
Tia Mari's motivation. And I really am serious. I probably am going to change my diet tomorrow.
No, ditto.
Because
Ditto.
because my biggest concern is being healthy and actually feeling healthy. And so when I see that, I'm like, I don't look out of healthy. I mean, I don't look out of shape or unhealthy.
You look good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I know that I can do better. So when you know better, you do better, right? So
And a lot of people are doing this.
the Singapore dad, who's 50 years old, is
Dad.
in amazing health. And I just high five to him. He looks like he could be the next Superman.
No, seriously. No.
Could he look? Does he
Seriously?
not look like he can be Clark Kent?
No, seriously. The glasses.
Everything. He probably ran into a phone booth right before then. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
That's my joke. Okay, now let's talk about something that's funny. This woman's eyebrows has been all over the internet all week,
Wait.
y'all.
Wait.
I didn't
Wait till
really
he
believe
pulls
that
it
this
up.
was real. I really did not believe this
I
was
thought
real.
this was fake. I thought, you know how they like go in and they edit pictures? I thought they edited
I
this
didn't
picture.
think this
And
was-
this is the reason why this made it on Society Now. Because, you know, we do cover Trump, the administration, and a lot of stuff. But I think this is one of the funniest things that have been around
I
Trump.
want somebody to tell me, how did her eyebrows make it into the picture, and why did no one? Where's the clip?
So
why
while
did
he's
no
pulling up
one?
the clip for those that do not know,
Didn't-
it's Donald Trump is speaking. And
at those
you see
eyebrows.
you can barely see the woman in the far back.
Her eyebrows looks like
You guys,
It's
it looked
really
like
bad.
somebody put a check mark upside down.
But the fact that when I first saw it, I thought it was like photoshopped. I didn't think it was real. I was like, this can't be real. But then I saw it on different news outlets, and I was like, y'all, this is actually real. This actually really happened. I thought it was like a skit from Saturday Night Live when they kind of put somebody in the back, you know, because it's SNL. You know what I mean? I was like, this can't be
In
real.
real life, and it was
real, and it was worth sharing with you guys
It
because
was.
there's two messages here. One, ladies,
Man,
eyebrows are important.
no, seriously.
They have microblading now. It's an amazing technique that you can put your eyebrows
And
on,
they
and
even
it
have a
lasts
little
for a
thing
year.
where you can color.
Yeah, they have all these things. That's one thing. Look at.
Ooh, there it is. Man, I mean, I just don't get it.
I really feel like maybe she was a part of a sorority prank, and it was like you're gonna go back there. You're
I
gonna
think she did that on purpose.
you're part of the sorority prank. You want to be a part of this sorority. You're gonna shave your eyebrows off. You're gonna draw them on, and we're gonna get you into this press conference. And your job is to stand back there.
Eyeshadow right there. Yeah, right there.
I wonder why. Well, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter why it happened, but it actually really did happen. So this was your society's second chuckle.
So it's the chuckle goes to another hand clap. So there was a gentleman who had these massive keloids removed, actually not by the insurance because the insurance company refused to remove them.
And I remember seeing this man's story on the news. I was like, this man actually has this going on for real in real life. Like, this is really
Like,
happening.
yo,
I
and
remember seeing it, and they're saying they're 40 pounds. Like, they were 40 pounds of flesh growing on him.
And so,
Oh my
so
God.
one of
Help.
the things that he said was, okay, his job is a officer or security guard at a casino, and he said he felt so uncomfortable because literally it was weighing on him.
Literally.
And so what he did was he noticed that people wanted to help, so they seemed to manage to put $25,000 in a GoFundMe account to pay for the removal of the keloids. And guess where it started? It started from when he was 13 years old, and it was a cut that never healed. Instead, it just constantly got worse, and then it turned into 40 pounds of flesh that was hanging off of his face. But do we have the after picture of what he looked like?
He looks like
He
looks normal.
looks
And
so
You know, and
good.
I praise
He looks
God
so
that,
good. He really does.
that he looks normal. You know, I can't imagine having to deal with that. I can't imagine having to deal with that for so long. You know what I mean? And how much of his life.
Look at that. Y'all
And
look.
look how but it looks a great job. They did a great job. And how his life was impaired from that. Like, it really probably was very disturbing for him because he had to endure people not wanting to, you know, be with him, date him. You know, how does it affect you, you know, growing up like that? And I'm just so glad that they were able to fix it. So blessings to him. Blessings to him.
Wow.
My God. Blessings.
Whew.
Blessings. Okay, what else we got going on, Allie?
We got Tesla. So Tesla just welcomed the CEO to the board. And here's why we're making it a big deal for Silicon Valley. For those that do not know, Tesla welcomes Miss the Ebony Media CEO, Linda Johnson Rice. This is the second out of the group of 9 board members and the first African American to hold the role, according to Fortune magazine. So that's huge. And one of the, I've noticed that a lot more companies are having an alliance of a diversity board.
Well, this is the thing. Now, when I first read this, I was like, kudos to her, kudos to Tesla. That's amazing because they're recognizing innovation in people that are from different minority groups and ethnicities. Then my second thought was, it's interesting how that becomes news for us because it's so rare that these things happen. It's not a normal occurrence, right?
It's definitely not.
It's not. We don't necessarily hear about the new people at Toyota or the new people at Dodge, unless it's something controversial surrounding them, or surrounding their placement there, or it's such a rarity. Like somebody that was on the board for 50 years finally sat down, and But so I was like, kudos. I'm really excited for her and the trailblazing that's happening in these innovative areas. I think it's really interesting that that this is happening, and these just happen to be strong minority women. So this is amazing.
Love it on every scale.
So this portion of our show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Baptiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Baptiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680. That number is 713-789-8680.
Yes.
What you got to say about that?
Gotta love Elite Dental Wellness.
You got to love them because we have clean teeth and they're pretty and bright and white.
So we've gone through a lot of society seconds. So now, do we care or should we care?
We should care about a lot of things that's happening today.
So this has been all over. We talked about it last show. So this is like a mixture of a circling back and should we care? So R. Kelly's sex cult losing this 20-year-old girl thanks to good parenting. There's a young lady who went to an R. Kelly concert. The young lady, the article was pretty lengthy, but it talks about this young lady pretty much going there and getting a backstage pass to actually see him. They end up kind of talking, so she ended up going to his house twice, or going to see him twice. And then she was given $200 to wear something sexy. And I think it was like something black and to wear some heels. Then I think a text message was sent to her that said he's gonna buy her a one-way ticket to join him in LA with one condition, that she doesn't bring anyone else with her. That set off warning bells. So she ended up talking to her mother, who pretty much shut it down and was like, it's manipulative, it's dangerous, don't go, and broke it off. So for those that haven't heard that are just subscribing to the show, R. Kelly has been accused of having a cult. It is accused of having women in a cult held hostage in his basement for sexual pleasures. And this is, I think, the second woman that's coming, because the first woman whose parents came out was actually she came forward to the media, but it seemed like it was very coached.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's talking about. They're like, well, it looks like somebody was behind the camera coaching her, but it didn't seem very authentic. So people are now still having the spotlight on R. Kelly, saying, what's going on now? I've heard that he's been arrested, but I've only saw that on one news source. So I don't know how valid that is just yet.
I'm not sure if he's been arrested,
Yeah.
but he probably was brought in for questioning. I'm almost certain, or some representative. He might have had a representative brought in for questioning. I'm not certain about all the information there, but I think it's one of the articles I read that's connected or aligned with this one talks about him and his history of being a very sexually vocal singer, entertainer, and how he's had these relationships with women that are questionable. And at that point, who is really responsible for if this is where it is now? Should we have known this could have happened? Should someone have stepped in? Should there have been some intervention? Because some would say that it was written. Like it was written all over. It was something was bound to happen. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know R. Kelly personally, right? But it seems like everything about the situation is all wrong.
Yeah.
And there was one article that literally did a timeline, and I think that's the next one, of all the different things that he's done, from when he married Aaliyah, from when it's just very questionable. Now, again, these are all allegations, so we don't know for sure. It just seems like you don't even want to put yourself in that predicament as a celebrity or even as a person, but people are looking up to you, and it's just sad. I would really hate for this to all be really true.
I would hate for it to be really true, but I think it's unfortunate if it's true. My hope is that, number one, again, some of the conversation is that all of these women are of age, but that doesn't necessarily make it right.
Not at all.
I don't necessarily know if an age, specifically a numeric number, can dictate someone's maturity.
This is true.
And what they're really ready to encounter. And I don't necessarily know if people knowingly would sign up to be a part of a cult. I don't think it'd be advertised as a cult, right? But be a part of something that they knew down the line could hurt them. Mentally, emotionally, psychologically, all of that. So you look at it from that perspective. There is some concern there. It may not necessarily be something that you can send someone to jail for, right? But there is some things there that that you start want to have conversations with your own family members, your own children. You want to start. This is what starts the conversation about having the right dialogue with your children, men and women, boys and girls, because we grow up and there are sometimes there are these things that these voids or these areas that we think are okay, and it's really not. We have not have those areas filled. So it's just something to just be mindful of.
I'm going to second that, and not even for young people, just even for older people. You guys, celebrities are people. And wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong, regardless of what your celebrity status is. No one should be abused. And there are too many men and women out here for you to have to be victimized in any level. So I want to say that too, because a lot of it's young, but there's a lot of older women and men that fall victim to that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what's also aligned with this story is the actual, when you are in a relationship emotionally, psychologically, physically. Our next article talks about a person that was stabbed 119 times because it was a former Navy sailor who had been sentenced to 40 years in prison because he actually engaged in a relationship with a person that said they were a woman and actually was wound up being a transgender woman, but that person did not tell him that she was transgender until after they got romantically involved, and he was so psychologically thrown by that he stabbed her 119 times. And I don't think it's right to stab I don't think it's right to kill. Let's be clear about that. And I understand that in the LGBTQ community, there is an acceptance that they're looking for. They want people to, accept and acknowledge who they are, and what it takes to get them to a place of feeling good and accepting themselves. They
Yeah.
want the world to accept them. I think the flip of that is they have to understand that everyone may not be ready to accept, especially in the transgender community, that type of change, because they are not emotionally or psychologically ready to say, okay, yes, I view you as whatever you're presenting yourself to be, because you just told me you were something else. That's a lot. And this is not to justify this,
No, not at all, not at
you
all,
cannot
not at all.
justify killing another person. Unless this person was trying to kill you, you cannot justify, and that's not the story here, right?
No, not even close.
It's just sad because there is so many layers to this, and I hope that if anyone else is in the same predicament and struggling or wanting to date and they are transgender, that these conversations come up earlier in the relationship, and they truly consider that everyone may not be ready to enter into that type of relationship for their own personal, perspective. They might not be ready to deal with whatever they feel like that comes with, because it is a lot to process for a lot of people. What are your thoughts on that?
So I want to, I like to recap this.
Sure.
So
I know I said a lot.
No, this is good. So the former sailor who was sentenced to 40 years in prison, and this is from 2016, 21 years old, and killed the young lady in a hotel room on the 23rd. It says Wingham 25. Our autopsy shows Wingham 25. She was 25 and was stabbed 119 times. And I just want to talk about this. So this goes back to when you are in a relationship with levels of intimacy. But before we say anything, I'm sure we have an amazing commercial break.
Let's talk about this. Why we're able to do this in this show is because this portion of the show is brought to you about the Sphere.
The Sphere. Woo-woo!
Are you starting a business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789. Again, the number is 832-772-7789. Or email us at advertiseatthesphere.tv. That's advertiseatthesphere.tv. So you were saying something, and this is really, really good about.
So the conversation that you have. Mm-hmm. So I know that there's a lot of transgenders that either identify themselves as male or female. So even if it's a person, once they've had that surgery, they've identified, or even once they have, because some have
made their selection.
Not had the surgery, but they have gone through the steps to legally say, I'm no longer female, I'm male,
or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Once you have made that altered what you originally aesthetically were, I feel like you owe it to whomever you are intimate with. Now, I repeat, I do not condone killing of any person or anything. I don't. But I feel like situations like this at least possibly could have been avoided, or at least because this is the thing. You have a lot of people that are not accepting of transgender, that are not. And honestly, sometimes if you just have a general conversation about it, like most people are pretty forthcoming with how they feel about it.
And the thing about it is with this conversation, what makes it very delicate is that we understand that people do have what they feel like they identify more with.
Of course.
And that's okay. We're not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing at all.
The bigger thing is that understanding that everyone may not be in that place of acceptance with you, no matter how much they might be attracted to you in your current identification. If there's a possibility that they could not or may not be able to process what you're saying, like, this is who I was and it's not who you are right now. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, that is a lot for any person. And now everyone doesn't respond the same, right? Some people may be like, okay, well, thank you for telling me that, I appreciate your, your transparency, your vulnerability in this conversation. Or some people like, thank you. I don't really care. I like being with you. And some people are like, oh my God, you betrayed me. But either way, you have to be able to have the conversation, because I think that is part of the transition, right? The transition is having the conversation at a healthy time period, and not expecting everyone to, you have to expect that everyone is not going to be accepting, but you have to have it at the right time, early enough that it won't create an issue.
And hence why it's one thing to stab person one time, 2 times, but 119 times is an act of rage.
It's an act of rage.
And that takes it to another level. And I think that person may have had some deep root concerns, or not even concerns, but feelings regarding transgender. And I think that if the conversation happened earlier, because I've met people, and the moment I say one word, you can see all over their face, like, oh no, that's I don't agree with that. It's like, well, you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that blank happened. And the reality of it is, we live in a society now where you go into the bathroom, they have a women's bathroom, a men's bathroom, and a transgender bathroom.
Yeah.
Then they've got some bathrooms that don't have any
that you just
gender.
You just go in.
And so it's a different society. So I'm just saying that now in society, I really urge people to we want everybody to live and to be healthy. And sometimes that means having the hard conversations early, so something unhealthy won't happen in the long run.
Absolutely.
Right? So just our hearts go out, and our prayers really do go out, because no one deserves to die.
Absolutely not.
To be murdered, that just takes it to a different level.
That's levels to that.
You can have your opinion, but killing somebody, you can't bring them back.
Well, let's talk about something a little lighter. So, well, it's not really light, actually. I'm gonna skip around on this.
No,
one.
that's fine, because we could even go back up to the book.
Well, so there was a young man who was actually considered to be a thug, who was a homeless thug.
Yes.
His name is Darnell Ferguson, and he actually was considered to be a homeless thug. He was on the streets a long time, but he actually turned his what would be considered a tragic lifestyle, homeless, on the streets, selling drugs, incarcerated, and is now a very successful entrepreneur. He has opened 2 restaurants in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, he's doing a lot for his neighborhood. And I think it's beautiful, because this is someone who probably, again, because he has a record, he probably would not have an opportunity to work for someone else. So he decided to start his own business.
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
I got to tell you, let's do a clap for that. And I'm going to tell you why.
Super chefs on deck.
Because so many times in today's society, we are told that if you sell drugs, if you spend time in prison and homeless, that you are not going to amount to anything. There are more people that are proving that to be completely wrong. You've got the Tyler Perrys, who was homeless, right? And you've got this gentleman who sold drugs, spent time in prison, and homeless. And it even said on here, like, he was doing well at one point in time, but he had a really bad attitude, and it caused him to lose out on a few things. But he got his act together and really started this restaurant business, and is doing really, really well. So I think that this is one of those, definitely, do we care? Should we care?
Absolutely
We care.
Absolutely.
And why do we care? Because that's motivation for those of you out there that may have a situation. Because let's be real, everybody may not have the ideal situation.
Absolutely.
And ideal is relative.
It is very relative.
Ideal is relative. But you
it's
may have
perspective.
puts everything in perspective, and you may have something that you can identify with this. But clearly this man made a success of it, and you may not be a chef, you may be something else. The opportunity's there. All you need to do is just seize the moment. Carpe diem.
Carpe diem. We've been friends for a long time, y'all, and she every now and then she acts like she's refined and she knows the words.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, so can we talk about this domestic violence thing?
Man, yeah.
So there is there's a domestic violence issue happening, and this is not new. Domestic violence is very, very real. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but we don't have to talk about it in October. We could talk about it now. There's 2 rappers involved in this incident. One rapper, his name is Zero. He's from Houston. Another rapper, her name is Just Brittany. She's also from Houston. Apparently, these 2 were in a relationship together.
Yeah.
She waited 3 months to report that her boyfriend Zero actually physically beat her for 2 hours, and she actually recorded. 2 or more hours, and she recorded it. The people are around the conversation are saying, why would you wait so long? And I think the deeper conversation is, unless you have been in a domestic violence situation, you don't necessarily know how deep that psychological trauma is, how fearful people are in that situation, and all the different layers that go with being in a domestic violence situation. I don't necessarily know. I don't think it's from a non-legal perspective. I'm gonna give you my non-legal perspective. I'm gonna say that you have to wait till you find a safe place. I don't necessarily think that everyone feels safe. We've seen movies. We've seen enough. We've seen all these different movies where women had to like strategically get themselves out before they could even actually tell someone they needed help. And those, these are movies that we see them in 2-hour time frames. These movies probably went on for a very long time in these people's real lives, because these movies are usually based on some real life character. So I don't necessarily know if the conversation around why did you wait 3 months is the right conversation to have with someone who was beaten or abused. I don't think that's the right conversation.
So this goes back to, what I always say, this is new news. And as it goes on, we're going to know if we're going to find out more. We don't know the situation. You guys, we are only told to us what's reported. We don't know why she waited 3 months, because that's the first question I asked. Like, well, I wonder why she waited 3 months. But I don't know if she was in a safe place. I don't know what possibly happened. I don't know. He could have been telling her stuff. I don't know what the situation is, but the fact is that he actually is being held without bond. So evidently the cops thought enough about it.
Well, and that she had audio. I mean, she had enough to prove that
2 hours worth of audio being beat.
And this is someone actually that the article made a very good point, that this man has been telling us about his mental health issues for a very long time. Even his rapping and stuff like that. And one of the comments was like, well, he's been talking about this for so long, his mental health issues, not necessarily domestic violence, but mental health. Why didn't anyone step in and say, or did anyone step in and say, hey, how you doing? Are you getting help? Are you taking medicine? Is this how are you functioning with that? Like, who was his support group? Who was the person or people that were responsible or around him, his balcony, that he, when he felt overwhelmed and pressure, whatever, that he was able to do whatever he needed to do. Again, we don't know all the facts to this story, but it's not something that you can say. I understand why people say, why wait? But again, there's a lot of different issues why people should wait, in terms of not being, in terms of being safe. It's a life thing. She could have died in those 2 hours, 2+ hours. She really could have died. So we thank God that, although it's documented to have happened 3 months ago, we thank God that she's in a safe place now, presumptively.
For sure.
Presumptively.
Hopefully.
Now, we can go back and forth on this, but there's a few things I want to hit before we shut this sucker down. Let's talk about, I love Bob Costa saying the Bengals run a halfway house for criminals, yet Kaepernick is still unemployed, and for kneeling. And he made a really good comment by saying, he was like, listen, there's enough teams out there that could have taken this man because he is a quality grade A player, but y'all are not taking him because he's a poor player. Y'all are taking him because of what he did, which was kneeling, which is not against the law. He didn't break any laws. He didn't go to jail. And y'all are making it seem like he broke a law. He went to jail and he's not worthy. But there's other teams out there that employ a lot of what he would say criminals. I don't know. I think the conversation keeps coming out, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it is a very real conversation. It is a real conversation because this man, again, did something. He was actually within his rights, his freedoms, according to the Constitution.
Well, I'm applauding because I like the fact that he's still in the news. Because the more that you keep it in the news, the more people can't ignore it.
Absolutely.
So I'm definitely going to say that this is good. I think that this is definitely going in the right direction.
The conversation is definitely going in the right direction.
For sure.
Now, what do you think about
Kim K?
So yeah, Kim K, the Kardashians.
The Kardashian brand. I'm telling you, man, they are forced to be reckoned with. When you come for one, you come for all.
I actually, when we first had the conversation of almost a month ago, I said, I just don't think it's not gonna be the way people think it's gonna be. I think it got an initial headlines was good that, it drew attention to the fact that California has a law that doesn't allow, what is it called? Revenge porn.
Revenge porn.
They have a law against that.
Which
no one actually knew
so
that.
Crazy that you actually have to have a law.
Right, but
porn.
this is the thing. I didn't even knew something like that existed. I'm glad so now we all are aware.
Yeah.
So now we're all going to be safer on our social media,
and conscious
conscious
before
on
you
our
start posting
emails,
all kind of stuff when you
social
get
media. Like
for those that emotionally post.
don't emotionally post, right? Because you don't want to go to jail or get in trouble, fined or
Especially if
whatever.
you're in California,
Right, in California, but what other state might happen, we never
for sure,
know.
we don't even know.
But Black China's show was just canceled by the E Network, and they pretty much don't really want to associate themselves with this brand, because the Kardashians are a brand, and Black China at one point was a part, or was trying to become a part of the brand, but E Network has since canceled her show that she could have made close to $1 million on. Thoughts about that? Yep. So this is when good goes bad, and we know that the Kardashians are forced to be reckoned with.
They're forced to be reckoned with,
and you don't,
and you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
We're not saying they're the reason why her show was canceled. Let me clear that up. We're just saying that their brand is very strong, and they actually have made a significant footprint on E Network. And so I can understand how, if you have to balance out the shows, that it would probably do better for them to give that spot or slot to another show.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Arian Foster.
Yes.
What about him? He's good. He's good in the hood.
Yo, I love the fact that he invested $810,000 to a 12-year-old's lemonade company.
That's
how
pretty
cool is that?
That's almost $1 million, y'all.
Like, how cool is that?
Look at that little baby.
Heck,
look at her.
Look, it just
Come on, lemonade.
Cute.
Come on, lemonade.
You want to be.
I think that's beautiful. I think that's great that he's giving back. I think that his give back is, we're gonna do a clap on that. Go ahead, let's do a clap.
I love it in the back. Everybody's just like,
we're gonna clap it. That definitely deserves a clap. Definitely, because we don't see these good in the hood moves often, and you do see them. You don't see it for this great of an amount.
Yeah, because
this is a significant amount. She literally can start her business with this. This is the stuff that even when you get a small business loan, you're looking for this type of money, and many people don't even get this much money. So that's beautiful.
Adults don't get this kind of money.
This is beautiful. So God bless them on her endeavor. Some sad news. Chester Bennington, a part of Limp Bizkit, was found dead earlier this week.
41.
Excuse me, not Limp Bizkit. I'm sorry, Linkin Park. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Nobody in Limp Bizkit is deceased. Linkin Park. My bad. Anyways, I was gonna clear it up, but yes, my bad. The two L's messed me up. So, Linkin Park.
And
it's a sad, tragic death because it was presumed to be suicide, and no one ever wants to hear about
that. And of course, celebrities definitely took to Twitter, and they really did show their respects. You've had a lot of people who are really mourning his death, simply because he was pivotal. He was pivotal in the music industry, and a lot of people took it to heart. So our prayers definitely go out to his family, and even his fans, because I'm realizing now that you got fans who mourn just as hard as family sometimes, because they grow up listening to certain type of music all of their lives, and literally when a person dies, it's like, whoa.
I remember how I was last year when Prince passed away.
You were genuinely sad.
I was sad.
I was sad too, but
I was genuinely sad. I actually went to the movies and watched Purple Rain.
Yeah,
I went to the matinee.
I felt like that about Luther.
I didn't feel like that about Luther.
I felt like that about
but I did
Luther.
feel like that about Aaliyah.
I felt like that. I felt like I lost a cousin.
And so when you
Seriously.
see some of these these celebrities, these musicians, these stars, we feel like we grew up with them. We feel like we were connected to them. So when they pass away, it's not a small thing, it's a big thing for many people. And when we hear about the tragedies, and especially when it's something like a suicide and things like that, our hearts just kind of break, because we're like, well, we wish, he or she could have said or did something. And we really do want to see that happen. So blessings to his family, his children. God bless the group. We pray that
everyone
deals with it day by day. Our prayers is with them.
Seriously.
So what are you trying to leave us again?
I was.
But you're not going to do it. But you are going to do it, aren't you?
I'm going to do it. Because I'm going to say good evening. And thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my gosh.
On Society Now.
We
is
love
a show,
y'all.
That endeavors to provide groundbreaking stories, editorials that ignite perspective, excite passion, and invoke social consciousness. You mean so much to us. My name is Allison Bullock, and you can follow me on Instagram at Miranda Inc.
And I am Kira Laws. And you can follow me on Instagram at The Modern Day Cindy. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
Next week, same place,
Same time. Yeah.
We love you guys so much. Take care. Have a great night.
Next week.
Mwah.
Oh, blowing kisses.
Did
I'm winking. Winking at you.
blow a kiss and a wink.
And a wink. And a
And
thumbs up.
You
Thumbs up for the
guys
producer.
Take care.
Have a good week.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.